Peace, everyone. We are about to take the mind and the body into a peaceful existence, so get ready. We are doing 45 days of raw food and 45 days of meditation. We're also doing meditation hookups at the end of this 45 days. My name is Jama'at. I most definitely am coming to you to do great things. So stay with us. This is a tuning fork. Spiritually, before we speak, we always want to use the tuning fork to align with nature, to align with our greatest thoughts, to align with our highest vibration. Use the tuning forks to heal. The sound therapy that goes on in tuning forks is amazing. So today, just getting back at you, this is our cup full in a crystal glass of blueberries. I'm breaking my fast with blueberries. Very important to berry family. Very, very, very important. Get you some blueberries. This is just, I wanted to juice today, but before I did this video, but unfortunately, juicing, takes time and preparation. But it was easier and more efficient to just put these in a cup and you just basically start eating on them. So at the end of this 45 days, I'm using this as like a blog, right? Just detailing how the 45 days are coming. This is my 4th day, by the way. How the 45 days are coming. What is my opinion of, fasting or on raw food for this long? What are the effects on the body that's going on, that's kind of like spilling out? What are the things that I notice? What are some of the things that I noticed on this cleanse or on this fast, whatever you want to call it, that I've noticed? I've noticed a lot. I notice that when you start eating raw food, sometimes you might get the sniffles or congestion. This raw food, the phytonutrients in this food is the antioxidants in these berries are pushing stuff out of the way. The parasites that exist in the stomach, that exist in the blood, that exist in your sinuses, these berries and the rest of this other raw food, dense, I like to say they're dense nutrition, right? There's so much nutrition in these berries that when it enters into my body, there's a reaction. There's a chemical reaction that goes on. There's a euphoria that goes on. There's a dopamine hit that hits my tongue and goes straight to my brain, to my stomach, and I feel so peaceful and relaxed. But some of the things that I've noticed on this cleanse is interesting because you'll have congestion come out. Some people even have like flu-like symptoms when they go on their first raw food challenge. The point of that, what I've noticed for myself personally, is just to move forward and to, all steam ahead. The more mucus, the more toxins, the more parasites that drift out of your body, drift out of your blood, the better. Because all those parasites, unfortunately, lead to disease. They lead to famine in the body. So you got to move them out, as best as you possibly can. And the best way to do it, that I've found out personally, is by doing these challenges. Some of the things also that whatever I say here on this channel This is for educational purposes only. Please talk to your healthcare professionals about before going on a challenge, before embarking on something that's going to ultimately change your health and change how you look at things and how you view, because that's exactly what raw food is doing, right? All the water that represents in these fruits and in these vegetables, I think the fruits and the vegetables, they contain about probably like 90, probably 85 to about 95% of water, and then the rest of it's fiber. There's nutrients in there. That's basically the same makeup of all human body. The human body runs on water. The conductor, I like to say, the heart is the sun, right? And the human body is the conductor. The electromagnetic conductor. That's another thing why you should always wear copper. Well, I've noticed when I'm on these fasts, I wear copper. I seem more mentally balanced. I seem more aware. I seem more intuitive. I also seem more electromagnetically grounded to myself. Put copper on your body. Wear it all day. Copper will do some amazing things with your body. So start to get into copper. Start to get into these berries. But if you start to experience, or when I started to experience congestion or anything of that nature, it just means it's just a part of the cleansing process and to move forward and, not turn around kind of thing. So on this fourth day, I've also learned that fasting not only kicks up things, just like how it's kicking up the congestion and kicking up the sinuses in your body, it also kicks up things in your life that are kind of like dormant or just floating around kind of thing. So there is an, esoteric astrology piece to this too, as well as it's moving things out of your life and getting rid of others and bringing others in, and being able to know the difference of what these things are and what they mean to the world. My life is an open door, especially now it's on the internet. It's an open door to the world, and things come up. And as they come up in your life, not eating so much, doing your intermittent fastings while you're on your challenges as well, drinking lots of water, lots of purified water. The best water that you can get are that I've noticed that are from cucumbers. Watermelon has some good water, but you got to get the watermelon. Watermelon's so politically driven because of the seeds, organic seeds. It's just so politically driven that you don't know what the real watermelon is. I think the real watermelon might come from China now, because China and Japan, you can pay for watermelon up to $60,000. Them some real watermelons. And people will be like, damn, I'll never pay $60,000 for eating. That's how nutritious that watermelon is. It's probably going through your body, going through your bloodstream, healing you, all kinds of stuff that you don't even know about. So I think that's why it's $60,000. It's not, and it's proven, right? A lot of cure is being capitalized on throughout the world. The cure is the cure. You don't have, it's not a one-time payment system. You know what I'm saying? The cure is a one-time payment system. Right? You just pay once. You don't have to keep buying. If there was a berry that existed on the planet, then I can just eat one berry, and that one berry fill up all of my bloodstream, kick out all parasites, clean my system, clean my nose, clean all my sinuses, clean your stomach. If there was one berry that was able to heal your body, heal it, would you not pay for that? Think about it. One berry. You see how many berries kick out of a berry vine? One berry could do that. That's the future. I think that's the future in food, is nutrient dense food. And I think the cure is there, right? Because humans have the ability to now genetically modify their food. We were able to genetically modify our food ancestrally too, but not in the lab, such as say, especially in the modern era. But in antiquity, of course, because you got ancient Kemet, a lot of these civilizations were, what do you say? They were doing some kind of genetic modification with humans, animals, food, all kinds of things. But to be able to genetically modify, and if you have the genetic modification tools, you can use that genetic modification tools to enhance nutrient dense food to the way of impeccableness. I mean, to the way of, if you have a problem digesting blueberries, they could literally genetically modify a blueberry, search out what your problem is, and then make those blueberries specifically for you. Let's think about that. Let's think about how food science has come into play, into the soil, into everything that we're eating. Now, let's unpack how we really need nutrient-dense food for the body. Nobody needs to be eating food every single day, all the time. It's more time spent on eating and taking, and by the food that you eat, it either adds to your focus for you to complete tasks, or it takes away from your focus to complete tasks. So eating is a huge thing in your life. So, and when you think about your productivity level at your job or anywhere, advancement of humanity is very important. If there was just one blueberry to do that, or one apple to do that was just nutrient dense, shit, I'll pay $30 for that. If I have to eat, if I can eat one apple, I'll pay $30 for that one apple that I didn't have to eat for a whole day or 2 or 3, because the apple is just going through my system, giving my blood all the minerals that it needs, giving my that's the kind of science we're at now. So I need people to think about that. I need you to think about the future in a positive way. I know there's negatives to genetically modifying, and I think people who have ever eaten food that comes from the Western Hemisphere, and shoot, all over the world now, are products of genetically modified food. But we got to think bigger than the issue, because the person who's genetically modifying food, they got interests, right? Their interest in the public side looks financial, right? It looks financial. It looks about power, control, and it also is about health, health and wellness that support an overall health system, right? It's healthcare system. So if we think about healthcare, a lot of disease can be prevented by what you put in your mouth. So the Food and Drug Administration is literally a nonprofit organization that focuses on the healthcare system. And you can't tell me that they're not tied in together. Of course, they most definitely have some connection together. But the Drug and Food Administration, I think, needs an overhaul, right? They need an overhaul, and they need a system and systems to come in from, the greatest minds in the world, to come in and start to push humanity to a different level other than focused on money, capitalism, focused on revenue, and then focused on other networks of systems like the Drug and Food Administration, right? Because ultimately a blueberry is a drug, right? Because it has antioxidants, all the vitamins, they're drugs, right? They go into your body, they do a chemical reaction to your blood, and just like drugs do. You know, it might be slower, but it does it. So I think those systems that have been there to enhance death and enhance populations to what Elon Musk was saying. He was saying that there's a population decline, you know, and there's systems that are involved that are most definitely participating in the population decline. But you got to think about their first inertia of creating a system like that was to create it for power, for money, and you know, to control. I think those interests now have changed due to the AI. I think those interests now that they've operated on have changed and have modified it to something different. I think we need to take their changes, and their changes need to be modified moving forward, because if we're into systems that encourage death, right? Because if we're into systems that hurt people, if we're into systems that are doing things such as this, where are we going? How far do you go until you can't stop? How far can you modify something until boom, wow, you modified it to the point to where it's just out of control, you know? And then you're messing with universal organic principles. Somebody placed the human on the planet. That's a divine principle. Whoever's on the planet now did not place humans, but they orchestrated humans to be in an environment to be competitive against each other and create a system like this. So if we can somehow take back our and rehance our initial thought of, here, we're doing this to do this, our granddaddies built the system to do this and this and this. Let's build a system now moving forward where we'll focus on life. We'll build a healthcare system where we're focused on life. We'll build a healthcare system where we're increasing life. Increasing life necessarily not just physically, but here. Because, you know, it's a lot of things that go on the planet that people want to have so much power that they lose a part of who they are just by in conquest of that power, you know? And when you lose a part of yourself in the midst of, you know, people going bonkers and crazy because they don't have any power, and they'll steal, they'll kill, they'll create genetically modified food that is harmful towards you. But where are the companies that are creating genetically modified food to enhance the population, to enhance the hospitals, to get people out of the hospitals, where are those people? Because there's systems and organizations and groups that are involved to do the latter. And I don't necessarily think that is a way that we should go, because every human soul, every human body has purpose. The Creator put us here, you know? And then we are maintaining ourselves either as a community or as individuals, as a family or as a tribe, as a village, village, since where you're at. These are the things that we're doing. So let's take the time to be forward thinkers. Think as positive as you possibly can about this system changing, and changing for the better. You know, not just that corruption is built in the cake, you know, corruption is built in the cake, but there has to be God built in that cake too as well, because in order to make a cake, you need ingredients, and those ingredients are tied to the neter. They are tied to the Most High, and we are tied to the Most High, and you mean a lot. So let's start to unpack our thoughts when it comes to genetically modified food, and vertical gardens, hydroponic gardening, greenhouse garden. All of these things we need to encompass. Everybody needs to have a little greenhouse in their apartment or their house. Everyone needs to have a line of berries from a vine. Everyone needs to have olive trees growing, you know. So let's think about that, and we'll unpack that. But thank you for coming on my journey. This is the 4th day of the 45-day raw food challenge, meditation challenge. We're going to leave out from there and keep it moving. All right. Love to love you. Thank you for joining. Until next time, till tomorrow. Peace, love, and light.